How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in another video. So, of course, it's time for another Detroit Lions NFL draft preview. So, the last time in the draft previews, we took a look at the top linebacker prospects for round one of the draft. And in this part, we're going to wrap up the round one's part of the draft and look at the last area of need for the Lions by taking a look at the secondary for round one and taking a look at the top secondary prospects for round one of the draft. Mainly, this one is defensive backs and safeties. Now, for the Lions, defensive back really isn't a major need. It's more safety that's more of a need than defensive back. But since, these both sides are pretty much the secondary other side, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go over both areas because fuck it, why not? Because, hey, it never hurts to have another corner or two. The Lions could use one, but maybe more for, depth in the later rounds. But we'll go over them anyway because, yeah, fuck it, why not? But yeah, safety's honestly more of a need, but yeah. Anyway, that's just my quick explanation. Let's just go ahead, let's jump right into it. So let's take a look at the top defensive back and corner and safety prospects in this draft. So let's go. So, starting off with defensive backs, the first one we're going to go over here, hailing out of LSU, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 195 pounds, we got Stanley Jr. So for Derek, he's your prototype closing and recovery defensive back corner, so he's very good at closing in the space and recovering quickly. In terms of strengths, he boasts exceptional combination of agility, body control, and ball skills, can make scouts salivate and quarterbacks want to cry. He has easy agility, can demonstrate his drop. He shows the pitter-pat footwork, loses hips to shadow receivers all over the field. He's comfortable in press man coverage and off with the awareness to handle zone duties as well, so he can play any coverage scheme. When asked, he's supremely confident in his coverage. He eases off the gas ball to bait QBs before shifting gears to recover when the ball is in flight. He has a different degree of closing speed than most, which results in big plays in coverage as well as in run support. In terms of some weaknesses, though, he does have some concerns surrounding durability and grit, given he has played just 10 games the past 2 years total. The year prior, he played in only 7 games, and last year he only played in just 3 games. Before he shut down 2021 to undergo foot surgery on his left foot. And that will require a look by NFL doctors, so that is a bit of a red flag. So yeah, that's going to become an injury concern. Can he stay healthy? Because one of the corners the Lions just drafted, and Jeff Okudah, has had some health concerns the last 2 years. So could this be something to look at here? And the foot injury, which was suffered in a game against Central Michigan. It was reportedly aggravated from a prior issue suffered during fall training camp. And other than that, though, like any other corner, there are times he can get caught flat-footed while peeking in the backfield. A good example of that would be in the game between LSU and Alabama in 2019. When Tua turns the ball over, took a full advantage of it and threw not one but 2 long touchdown passes to Devontae Smith. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Marshawn Lattimore, the New Orleans Saints. So he has a lot of skills for sure. A few health concerns, that could raise some red flags. Might lower his draft stock, we'll have to see, but I don't think the Lions would have him on the board, though, but I say whoever gets him, if he can stay healthy, they'll be getting a damn good player for sure. So the next corner we're going to go over here, hailing out of Florida, standing 6'2", weighing 197 pounds, we got Elam. I probably botched that first name because it's a bit of a tongue twister, but yeah. Anyway, Elam, his strengths, he has a prototype frame for the position, excellent height, broad shoulders, well-developed musculature with vines for arms. He has rare agility and acceleration for his size. He has excellent man-to-man coverage. He's like a spotter that's about to pounce on his prey caught in the web. His length and ability to turn and drive out either foot out of his stance allows him to corral receivers off the line of scrimmage. Limits their ability to create instant space. In terms of weaknesses, though, he's not quite as physically imposing as his frames may suggest. He likes to play patty cake too long rather than show a sense of urgency to defeat run blocks. He's not a thumper. He opts to duck and swipe at times with some misses on tape. He waits to catch ball carries and lasso them with his long arms for drag down stops rather than just drive through and deliver and blow. So he's got to improve there. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jimmy Smith of the Baltimore Ravens. So And definitely has a lot of upside for sure. A few things to improve on, but maybe someone to keep an eye on for sure. So the next corner, we're going to go over here. Hailing out of Cincinnati, standing 6'3", weighed 200 pounds. We got Ahmad the Sauce Gardner. So for Ahmad, he's the prototype coverage corner, so it's very good in coverage. In terms of strength, he has rare height, agility, and acceleration for the position. He lines up in aggressive tight man coverage on a majority of his snaps, though. He accompanies top receivers. He corrals receivers at the line of scrimmage with his length and limits the passing lanes on short and intermediate routes. He shows impressive understanding of football angles. He can maintain excellent position between the receivers and the QB on crossing routes. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's more twitched than most corners his size. He does allow some slivers of sunshine to savvy route runners for quick change of direction. You know, there are some limitations coverage as well as just average tackling ability, so he's got to learn to tackle better and get better in coverage. It does make him best suited outside in a heavy man defense rather than inside or for a team that plays a lot of zone coverage, so he may be more better as a man-to-man corner than a zone corner. He's willing to mix it up, but he's more of a grab and drag down tackler than a striker. His imposing frame might suggest with some lunges and misses on tape, so like I said, has to learn to tackle better. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Richard Sherman of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So yeah, definitely has a lot of upside for sure. A few things to improve on, but yeah, definitely maybe someone to keep a look on for sure. So the next corner we're going to go over here, hailing out of Clemson, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 195 pounds, we got Andrew Booth Jr. So for Andrew Booth, he's your prototype run support corner, so he's very good at supporting the run game. In terms of strengths, he looks the part of an NFL corner with a well-built V-shaped frame, has good height and long arms, has easy athleticism, allows him to shadow receivers in man coverage, without relying too much on his hands to get initial jam to reroute. He shows some savvy in zone coverage as well. He's quickly closed on short and intermediate throws to deliver solid tackles. He's among this draft class's most aggressive and physical run supporters, so he's very good at being aggressive and supporting in the run game. He's eagerly attacking the would-be blockers of the opponents and knifing toward the line of scrimmage to lay the wood on ball carriers. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he lacks some polish, still a touch relying on his natural traits and coverage. Too often he fails to marry his upper and lower body and surrender easy early separation against savvy route runners. He's supremely confident in his athleticism and his film review, though. He gambles a bit, though, on his pre-snap reads. He can play himself into the doghouse with his willingness to take the cheese. Aggressively biting on play action and leaves himself and his teammates in difficult situations, so he's got to learn to not do that too much on play action plays. In terms of his NFL comparison, though, he's been compared to Kyle Fuller of the Denver Broncos, so definitely a lot of upside from Andrew for sure. Very aggressive, what you like to see that, because I think Dan Campbell likes to have aggressive players for sure. Couple things to polish up, though, but yeah, definitely someone I think would be on Detroit's board for sure. Someone I really like. Looks like someone I really like for sure. And the last corner we're going to go over in this video before we move on to the safeties, we have hailing out of Auburn, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 190 pounds, we got Roger McCrary. So for Roger, he's your prototype read and react corner, so he's very good at reading and reacting to the play. In terms of strengths, he's a polished all-around corner with the athleticism, awareness, and the big play ability that translates to the next level. He sports a compact, well-developed frame, has easy athleticism, including light feet and loose hips to change directions quickly and accelerate smoothly, has good stop-start athleticism, can really stick his foot in the ground and drive downhill to break up passes. He shows impressive hand-eye coordination and body control, can bat the ball away without running through the intended receiver. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he has neither great size nor speed for the position, though. Doesn't appear to possess the elite second gear to recover it being initially. He's a factor to consider given that he has also appeared to lack the arm length some teams may prioritize. He's willing to shoot his shot and going all out to make plays, but he'll leave himself vulnerable when he guesses wrong. He surprised someone he opted out of his final game at Auburn, which was the Birmingham Bowl against Houston. A game in which Auburn lost 17-13. So that kind of may raise the red flag, because will he be committed to a team, especially if they're not as competitive? Will he want to play? So yeah, that could lead to some issues here. Maybe potential holdout problems. But yeah, in terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Joe Hayden of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, definitely has a lot of upside for sure. Couple things to improve on though. But yeah, definitely someone to keep an eye on for sure. So now, moving on to the safeties. The first one we're going to go over here, hailing out of Notre Dame, standing 6'4", weighing 220 pounds. We got Kyle Hamilton. So for Kyle, he's your prototype read and react safety, so he's very good at reading and reacting to the play. In terms of strengths, though, when he's in the frame, his incredible length stands out the most. He has long arms that could disrupt throws, offers a tremendous tackle radius. But he isn't just light. He has also tremendous IQ and versatility to be an impact player in numerous roles in large areas on the field. So he has experience in both safety spots, has tremendous range to cover deep when needed in the slot. So he can also play some corner too, so that could be versatility, which I really like to see in a player. He can handle zone duties with ease, can take away underneath passes. In the box, he moves very well through traffic, finds his way to the ball, makes a play early. He's the most polished in production. He offers that as already at a high caliber NFL level. In terms of his weaknesses, though, let's see, we're checking. Yeah, in terms of his weaknesses, though, as far as improvements go, his biggest issue is just overall muscle for his frame. Despite being listed as 220 pounds, though, frame seems a little bit thin. Some added weight could help, though. So in the slot, he may struggle a bit with man coverage at the next level as he moves, as he is more smarts than shift. So it's better for him to be utilized in zone coverage to maximize his skill set. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings. So yeah, definitely a lot of upside for sure. I know there have been a number of mock drafts that had Detroit taking him at number 2 overall. I mean, I wouldn't have him be my first choice in number 2 overall. I mean, if he goes 2nd overall, I probably would be a little pissed about it at first but I would probably understand why, and I would trust Brad Holmes in the process. But, I mean, I'd be more cool with taking him at number 2 overall than taking Malik Willis at number 2 overall. I mean, though, if the Lions trade down from number 2 and Kyle Hamilton falls to wherever Detroit ends up going, then yeah, I'd be 100% on board with him for sure. This is someone I definitely would have on the draft board for sure, and someone to keep an eye on. I would definitely have him in play for the Lions' first pick in the draft. So the next safety we're going to go over here, hailing out of Michigan, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 192 pounds. We got Daxton Hill. So for Daxton, he's a prototype coverage safety, so he's very good in coverage. In terms of strength, though, he's been a highly awaited prospect due to just his athletic upside. That athleticism is just one piece of what makes him so intriguing as a defensive back and safety in this class. He has incredible range as a safety, has true single high capabilities with the speed to cover sideline to sideline. Has also extreme versatility. Spent a large part of 2021 playing in the slot and as a corner due to the need for the Wolverines, and he thrived in that role. And, being a Michigan fan, I can vouch for that and second that motion because, yeah, he is that versatile. So, yeah, when he has versatility, a lot of people will like that. Especially a lot of the Lions fans, since most of the Lions fan base are mostly Michigan fans. But, yeah. He closes up throwing lanes in the short game, shows improving tackling throughout the season. There could very easily be teams split on whether he should play a corner or safety at the next level, but he offers the versatility to be any of those positions. In terms of his weaknesses, though, there is some work needed for him in terms of tackling and stiffing through traffic. He's often used as a blitzer due to explosiveness, but if he doesn't get a free lane, he gets swallowed up even by running backs staying in the block. In man coverage, he's still a little green, will need time to develop and grow in terms of mirroring his assignment. If a team's impatient in that regard, the reward could be very huge. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears. So, yeah, a lot of upside for sure. Has a lot of versatility. If the Lions don't get Kyle Hamilton, I think this will be a solid plan B option. And he's definitely going to be in play for either pick 32 or 34. The Lions may or may not need to trade up for him, if he goes in the first round. But, yeah, I mean, I would have him in play for either the Lions' other first-round pick or even the second-round pick. But, yeah, someone definitely to have on the board for sure. So the next safety we're going to go over here, hailing out of Penn State, standing 6'1", weighing 205 pounds. We got Jaquan Brisker. So for Jaquan, he's your prototype closing and recovering safety, so he's very good at closing in and play and recovering. In terms of strengths, he's a well-built safety. Natural body armor to handle the physicality to position. He sports broad shoulders, has a dense overall muscular culture. He's a quality athlete overall, is made even faster on the field because of his instincts. He attacks downhill like he's shot out of a cannon. He races in the action at a different speed than everyone else. He is capable in coverage with high grades for awareness and natural instincts. He's comfortable in traffic fighting off would-be blockers, including those who have over 100-pound advantage over him. He quickly breaks from them to get to the ball carrier. He delivers strong, clean hits with textbook technique. Drops his shoulders and drives through contact to create legitimate knockdown power while also wrapping his arms securely. Has impressive key and diagnosis skills. He reads the line of scrimmage and quarterback along other tails to get a jump on the ball. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's better facing the QB than when his back turned to the ball. He has good speed but lacks the elite range to play single high free safety, so he's more as a strong safety. He's aware enough to be used in blitz packages, and skill set indicates that he excelled, but he had 0 career sacks in college. He's high and choppy in the back pedal, and he loses a step in his transition to full gallop due to some stiffness in his hips. He has good but not great hands for the interception. He had a few drops of catchable passes on tape, which is why he was playing safe secondary on defense in the first place. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jamal Adams of the Seattle Seahawks, so definitely has a lot of upside for sure. Couple things to improve on for sure, including needing to learn how to catch better, but still, someone definitely to keep an eye on for sure. And the final safety, the final secondary player, the final player we're going to go over in this video, hailing out of Maryland, standing 6'1", weighing 210 pounds, we got Nick Cross. So for Nick, in terms of strengths, he's the versatile safety, has quality range to get involved in plays consistently. As a tackler, he's as dependable as they come. His best trait, however, is his ability to play for the ball. He has a knack for getting his hands inside a receiver's pocket. Consistently finds ways to break up the pass. He's best fit for split zone work. Has the capability to play either role. Could drop down and handle slot as well with those responsibilities. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's a well-rounded safety, but there's still plenty of work needed. Hey, there's always room for improvement. Deep coverage, he allows too many plays to get behind him. Athleticism makes up for it plenty of times, but at the NFL level, those mistakes will result in touchdowns, and you can't have that. Could also use some work on how he fills lanes. While he's a good tackler, he often gets stuck in traffic, gets swallowed up by the linemen, so he's got to learn not to have that happen. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired safety Reggie Nelson, so has a lot of upside for sure. Quite a few things to clean up, but someone maybe to keep an eye on for sure. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here for this Detroit Lions NFL Draft Preview. And that wraps up for the Round 1 portion of the NFL Draft Preview. So yeah, definitely quite a few interesting prospects to keep an eye on for sure. And I got quite a few of these prospects are going to be on the Lions board for sure, especially the safety ones. Said safety is a need for the Lions too. I know they did re-sign Tracy Walker though, but that's still not enough. The Lions still got a massive hole at safety. Definitely some interesting players to keep an eye on for sure, whether the Lions want to get a safety at number 2 overall, or if they want to wait till either pick 32 or pick 34 or whatnot. But yeah, definitely some names to keep an eye on for sure. So next time for the draft previews, we're going to be starting to go to day 2 of the draft, which is round 2 and 3. And we're going to focus on the major needs for the Lions. So everything we did for round 1, we're going to do that for day 2. So for the day 2 previews, we're going to do QB, wide receiver, D-line, linebacker, and defensive backs and safeties. Then take a look at some more prospects there. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I got to say, and I'll see you all whatever I make next. Peace.